Hello and welcome to another video with Kurt's Cultivation. Here today we're going over clones. As you could probably see right here, I've got some going. I got my quote-unquote tomato plant over here. We got our rapid rooters and that. And so basically, you're gonna cut off a branch on your tomato plant, whatever plant it is. You want a branch, I mean, you could do it from, I would recommend 5 inches plus. Some people make it work with 3 inches on a branch, but it's up to you what works for you. Every method works, so try it all out, you know. But once you have your branch cut off, I usually do mine a pre-soak in water, warm, cold, room temp is better. Just let it soak in there, wash it off real quick, just in case there's any bugs or anything. Like, this is a pretty sterile environment. I grow inside. I mean, it's harder inside, but it's definitely worth it, but it's a little bit more maintenance. But once you get your branch, I like to trim based off how many clones, and I'm going to be making about 50 clones today. The more you do, the better, because not every clone is going to come out the best. Some are going to be a little bit worse, some will be a little bit better. But at the end of the day, it's all trial and error. So usually I get my fan leaves, I cut about right in the middle there. Just cut that. And then I like to keep my area clean as it works. So I make sure I throw all my leaves that just fell into a little bag here. And then I only do that for the bottom few based off how many. If I'm going to do like maybe 10, I won't even cut the fan leaves. But since I need to conserve as much space and make sure every plant gets light inside of the humidity dome that I'm going to place them in, I want to make sure light penetration's through and through. So I'm going to finish cutting these branches, or fan leaves, my bad. Like so. Boom. And then, so that's kind of what your plant's gonna look like. Nothing too crazy. This bottom one right here is gonna go completely. I'm gonna leave that extra fan leaf on the right there, just because it's a little bit higher than where we're gonna put the root Clone X at. This is the best one in my opinion. If you guys don't want to use Clone X, honey works amazing. Hop on Google and make a recipe out of some root hormone. That's all you need. If you guys don't want to do that, you could just, there is a high chance, but high chance it won't work. You can just put it into moisture, keep it in a humid environment, and it will grow roots. It just gonna take a little bit longer that way, and it's totally worth it. But once you get to this stage, you already cut it up how you want it. Don't overdo it, because you still want to make sure it's gonna survive. Right here in the center, I usually cut it in half, right in the middle, and split it apart. Some people cut it at a 45-degree angle. What you want to do is make sure you get as much exposure so the root hormone can get in there and produce the root. It's not going to be the same as a seed root, because those have tap roots from the seed. Those are the original root. So these ones are going to be just the side roots. They're not going to be nearly as strong of a root system as like the seed would be, but still really good. So I cut mine right in the middle like so. Boom, boom. So this is what I look for. Cut right down the middle. Oh, that's literally perfect. One of the best cuts I've ever done. It's right in the middle. And then usually I just do that. Sometimes if I really feel like it needs a little extra, I cut it down the middle and the opposite, so it has 4 ends. I've noticed that those usually convert into roots, so they get a little bit faster and produce a little bit faster. So I like this method a lot. There's plenty of methods out there. Check them all out. If you guys want me to go over more methods, let me know. From here, we're going to take a little break and do the restroom, and then we'll get back. And then from there, once you got cut and everything, put it into your root hormone. I do it like this. Do not do this at home. I have a single jar per genetic strain. So this one right here, the strain I'm playing with, quote unquote tomato plant, is going to be the Rainbow Runs tomato plant, if you know what I mean. And it's one of my favorite tomato plants. And I keep this specific one for that specific mother plant. I don't mix them up. If you're at home, pour it into a little jar and just use that. For me, I have a bottle per plant, so it's a little bit easier. I don't recommend doing this. It's not the best way to do it. It's not the most sanitary way. I just do it because it's a little bit easier because I'm just making these for me right now. I'm not selling these. These are going to the market. They would have to much stricter rules. But just for at-home purposes, works perfect. Get your rapid rooter. I let mine soak in water. So I'll show you guys one fresh out of the bag and one that's been soaked in water. So this is one that's been fresh out of the bag, as you can tell, not wet, pretty good. It's a little moist. If they're not moist when you get it, I'd be a little worried. And this is what it looks like when it's been soaking in water. I usually let them soak in water for about 20 seconds. That's all they need. They absorb water really fast. I squish out any excess water into a little tub. Don't squish it too much because you still want the moisture to be in there. Grab your clone. And there's a little hole already pre-made. I just doop, right on in there. And just like that, you have started your clone process. This is the first steps that will get you closer to succeeding. And once you get that, you put it in here. There's this little dome piece that goes on it. I'm going to show you guys what I already have going. These are my last batch. They're the ones that aren't making it as well. I'm trying to save them. So I'll show you what it looks like with the humidity dome. We'll cut to that. So here you are, where I use a Spider Farmer light just for the time being. They're one of the best, cheapest ones you could get for in-home use. Close up all of these, make sure they're all closed the way you can tell they're open. So you slide it and it looks like that closed. And then you're gonna get a spray bottle, spray all the inside here on the top, make sure it's nice and misted. And then as you can tell, some of the clones in there, they look a little sad, but it's just because I'm trying to save them. And then you wait 3 or 4 days. And then I will cut to the ones that are done and show you what they should look like when they're finished. And this is what one looks like completely filled up. Figured I'd show you guys what the finished product would look like. After you put them all, cut them up, put them in the thing. They all look very well, very well. And then the light's on, so they're going towards it. That's what it's supposed to look like.